Hello, everyone, and welcome to our meetup about Typer, a library developed by the same guy who developed FastAPI, Sebastian. Before I start, I just want to take this opportunity and tell you a bit about what I'm doing. So, if you check the website of my company, you will find detailed information lifemichael.com about training services, especially for software developers in companies. You can check the website, and at the training option, you can see more link for more information about the courses, including courses on Udemy, and more information about seminars. And also, if you check conferences, you can find information about the conferences I organize. Three conferences every year. Actually, Extreme Python and Extreme JS will take place for the fifth time. We started in 2021. The conferences take place online. The CFP is still open. We also have Extreme J. If you are on Meetup, then stay tuned. I will send in the near future, in the coming days, a coupon that will allow you to enroll for free. So that's it. Now back to the topic of today. So Typer, why am I so excited about Typer? Why did I choose to have a meetup about Typer? Well, on my end, I use Python mainly for stuff for kind of automation I want to have on my server, my computer, do stuff with files, move files from one place to another, various types of automation that take place on my computers. And then I'm in a position where I want to develop small utilities that will do the job. So there are various ways to do that job, and there are libraries out there we can use them that will make it simple for us to develop those small utilities that we will later use through the terminal. By the way, Click is one of them. Now, Typer is a new library. It is based on Click, and actually, when I gave it a try, it was so simple to start using it. Um, you would love it. Absolutely. If you check the website, you can check the website of Typer. It's typer.triangolo.com, the company that develops a fast API you're probably already familiar with. Then you can find detailed documentation and jumpstart. The explanations are simple to follow, and I've no doubt you will manage by yourself. So I believe these 30 minutes will be kind of a jumpstart, something to start with. So let's start. So these are the slides I prepared. And as I've already told you, Typer is a simple library for building CLI applications. Now, we can use Typer in both ways. We can either use Typer inside the script, inside the application, the Python application we developed. However, we can also use Typer as a command line tool for running scripts in Python. So those are the two options you have. um, Choose what you feel fits your needs. Now, as I've already said before, Typer is built on top of Click, another library, and here is a link for Click. Now, installing Typer is very simple. Just as any other library, just use the pip utility. So I suggest that you do it now. Open your terminal. Whether you are using VS Code or PyCharm, you can open the terminal and then do the pip install Typer. I'm using PyCharm. So over here, the terminal, as I said, why doesn't work? What happened? This is strange. Something got stuck with, I know, I have no idea. Let's close this project. Let's open it again. Now, again, give it a try. What was the problem? On the left, you can open the terminal, and then you can do pip install typer. Now, I've already installed typer, so nothing will happen. But on your end, you will see the installation. And if you are using PyCharm and you have that VNV folder, here you see inside lib. Here it is, the typer library. Okay, once typer was installed, you can start using it. So let's first talk about using typer as a utility. You can use typer for executing Python script you already have. You can even pass over arguments. So let's say that we have this small utility, program.py or something like that. So you can use typer as a utility. Just type typer and then specify the name of the file, program.py, and then specify that you want to run it. So you write run, and if that function takes argument, you can specify those arguments. So in this case, we get hello mosh printed to the screen. So back to my PyCharm, I've already have this program. So pay attention, it is highly important to specify the types. The reason that the reason for the name typer the word type the use of typer is based on the use of the types, those type inting you specify in your code. Well, if you are still not used to specify types in your code, my recommendation is to start doing it. There are many reasons. We had a meetup about using types in Python, and just as any other meetup, we have that meetup was also captured on video, so you can find on Life Michael channel on YouTube the video of that meetup and catch up. So if we want to use typer as a utility in this case, and I suggest you do the same on your end, it is very simple. You just type typer and then over here type. Okay, this is strange. What happens here? Well, things happen. I don't know why this strange behavior. My mistake, I haven't restarted the computer, even though it's a very strong computer, so it is strange, but things like that might happen. Okay, so I type typer, I want to execute typer, and right after that, the name of the file, in this case is program.py, and right after that, run and whatever I pass over. So typer program.py run, and I want to pass over, in this case, I have, oh, this is something I need to fix. In this case, I have two arguments. So let's say I pass over data and the number 4. And then what happens is that this script is executed. Now, you probably say, okay, so what? What the heck? I mean, we saw nothing useful so far. So please be patient. Now, we can also use typer in our code. In order to use typer in our code, we need to import the typer, and then make sure you have a script with the condition checking whether that script is executed directly. So if name equal main, that's it, and then typer.run, and then you pass over the function you want to execute. So I already have that code over here, and as you can see, I have a simple function. Its name is main. And now if I want to use typer, I simply call the function run, pass over main, and it will run, will execute, and this main function will be executed. Now, it is important that you specify this condition. Now, doing so, it means that if we try to execute this demo.py, just as any other Python script. Python demo.py, and then we pass over values. Um, well, this is strange. I don't know why. Unbelievable. Something simple like open the terminal, and I don't know why. Okay, so Python demo.py, and I want to pass over mosh and a number. Now, what happens now is that uh, demo.py will be executed just as any other script, and the argument motion 3 will be passed over to main, and main will do the trick. Now, you probably say, okay, so what? You have just demonstrated how to use typer inside your code, and you have demonstrated how to use typer as utility. So what? So far, we didn't see anything useful. Stay tuned. Please wait. Now, Typer is, as I said, does the magic based on the types, the int type, the types anything you have inside your code. You must have types specified in your code, the type of every parameter. It is highly important for Typer to do the magic that we are going to see in a moment. Now, those types that Typer inference will be used for generating error message, but also for getting help. And this is what I want to show you. Now, let's you talk about Typer as a utility. As we said, you can use Typer in two ways, either as a utility or as a library inside your code. So if you're using Typer as a utility, take a look at this case. If you go to that program.py, this demo, and you do typer space program.py space and then dash dash help, you get detailed help about that specific um, utility program.py. Look, typer space program.py dash dash help. We're talking about this file, a simple utility. Now, enter and look what you get. You get detailed explanation, and there is explanation saying that you need to specify the module you want, and here are the commands that you can perform, such as run. So you can actually run. This is what we got. Run the provided app. So we can go back and say, okay, oh, this is unbelievable. You know what? Maybe I restart PyCharm, exit, and open it again. It's the latest version. Okay, so we're now talking about using Typer as utility. I showed you that you can do Typer space program.py and then dash dash help, and then you can see the possibilities, and then you can see that there is a command. It's a command. The name is run, for instance. So you can do a Typer program.py and then run. And because this utility expect values, you can pass over values. Let's pass over data and 4, okay? And something happens, it works. So you got this detailed help. Later I will show you how we can add more commands, not just run, because you were using Typer as a utility. Now let's talk about using Typer in our code. So we have the file demo.py. This is the demo, and we can, as before, just try to execute this script, Python space demo.py. Unbelievable. Okay, Python demo.py. Now, uh, demo, where's demo? Demo. And now demo.py expects getting values. So let's first show what I'm showing now. If you don't path anything, then it tells you, okay, do add the dash dash help. Okay, so I will add dash dash help. Wow, that has never happened to me in the past. My mistake. I should have restarted my computer just in, what do we have in chat? Another terminal. Uh, from no, but if I open a terminal, a normal terminal, I won't be inside. It won't be the same. Okay, so Python space demo.py. I can put dash dash help and I get some help. Here it says what are the arguments. And now I can follow this instruction saying that I should pass over a name that should be text and a number that should be a number. And I specify the text and the number and something happens. So whether you are using Typer as a utility or inside your utility as a library, my preferred option is the latest. I mean, using Typer inside my utility because I'm already familiar, I'm used to typing Python and then the name of the scripts I want to run. And now when using Typer, it will be even simpler. So this is my preference, but if you want to use Typer as a utility, it's also possible. Now, as I showed you, you can place dash dash help and then get detailed help as I have just demonstrated it, which is very nice. Now let's talk about creating new commands. Typer allows us, and this is where the magic comes, in my opinion. You can easily define commands, not just run. Let's take a look at this demo. So in this code sample, well, first you need to make sure that you import typer, and then you need to call the typer function. Actually, the variable, in this case application, but you can name it whatever you want, will be assigned with a reference to the object that the typer function returns, which is actually an object. And call this variable application, app, OB, whatever you want, and then look at those decorators we have over here. So we have strudel application at application.command. This specific decorator actually turns shalom to a command we can use. And then at line 9, again, we have the command decorator, strudel, the name of the variable that all the typer object dot command, and hola will also be a command we can use. So now we can use those commands. So it all starts with getting information about the commands. So if you do Python space, the name of the script, dash dash help, you get a list of the commands that were defined. And this is my preferred alternative. I keep developing scripts that, and now inside those scripts, I use the typer library. And then inside that script, I define commands and I make sure that the commands, which are actually functions, each and every function has parameters, and those parameters have type hinting. I make sure I have that because typer requires that. Typer is based on the use of typer is based on those type hintings. So now I can easily just do Python command.py dash dash help and get detailed information about what we can do. Uh, Look, let's do it over here. I have the demo command, and now I do Python command.py dash dash help. Just imagine that command.py is a Python script you develop for doing some automation stuff on your computer, on your server, and now you want to improve that utility by adding the use of typers. So you organize the code a bit different, just as in this code sample. Make sure you have this condition to verify that this script is executed directly, and then you call the function, which is actually the object that we got when calling the typer function. It is actually, you can think about this typer with capital T as kind of a, just imagine it is a class that now you create an object from that class. And then after that, you can use the command decorator for specifying those functions you want to be used as commands. So now when I do the Python space command.py space dash dash help, enter, I get a detailed information about the commands I have. So now I can, for instance, do now that I understand what are the available commands, for instance, Ola, so I can do Python command.py and then the name of the command and ask for some help regarding that command. So Python command.py and we have the command. In this case, we don't have the command Ola. We have hello. So hello dash dash help. This is one of the commands. And then I get detailed information about the command hello. You see, when you develop utilities, at some point you forget what you develop. And you have those the utilities stored, let's say, in a repository, maybe on GitHub, I don't know where, in a file, a folder that everyone has access to. I recommend have a proper version management application that handle that. But you have those utilities you develop, other develop in your company, and then you want to use a specific utility that someone developed and you forgot how to develop. So using Typer, it makes things easier because you can easily get information about the available commands, as you have just seen. And then you can start using those commands. Say, hello expects getting a string and a number. So I pass over Yaya and 3, and if it works, hello Yaya, Yaya is printed 3 times to the screen. In the real world, it will be a function that will do something more sophisticated, like moving files from one place to another. Here is a sample for the commands. We have here in this code sample, here we have Ola and Shalom, and you can see I get help about the commands, and then I use a specific command and also ask for help for that specific command, and then I use it according to the help I got. Now, before I end, I want to take you back to the website, Typer website, where the documentation is very simple. So you can find explanations for what I've just showed you, but not just that. I found it very interesting, for instance, information about how to add some colors to what you do, to the feedback you get from that utility, I found it very interesting to show a progress bar. So you just need to um, use track from reach.progress, and then you can do something like that. Look at how it looks. So if you're doing something heavy, I mean something sophisticated, and you want to show the progress of that execution of that utility you developed and now someone is using, then I think showing a nice progress bar in the terminal using colors, uh, it looks good. Now there are a few more things you can find, just explore, and that's it. And this is Typer, and I will be very glad to answer questions you have.